The Problem and a Solution. Many hundreds of years. The Problem and a Solution. Many hundreds of years ago in a small Italian town, the merchant had the misfortune of owing a large sum of money to the moneylender. The moneylender, who was old and ugly, fancied the merchant's beautiful daughter, so he proposed a bargain. He said he would forego the merchant's debt if he could marry the merchant's daughter. Both the merchant and his daughter were horrified by the proposal. The cunning moneylender suggested that they let Providence decide the matter. The moneylender told them that he would put a black pebble and a white pebble into an empty bag. The girl would then have to pick one pebble from the bag. If she picked the black pebble, she would become the moneylender's wife and her father's debt would be forgiven. If she picked the white pebble, she need not marry him and her father's debt would still be forgiven. But if she refused to pick the pebble, her father would be thrown into jail. They were standing on a pebble-strewn path in the merchant's garden. As they talked, the moneylender bent over to pick up 2 pebbles. As he picked them up, the sharp-eyed girl noticed that he had picked up 2 black pebbles and put them into the bag. He then asked the girl to pick her pebble from the bag. Now, imagine you were standing in the merchant's garden. What would you have done if you were the girl? If you had to advise her, what would you have told her? Careful analysis would produce 3 possibilities. 1. The girl should refuse to take the pebble. 2. The girl should show that there were 2 black pebbles in the bag and expose the moneylender as a cheat. 3. The girl should pick the black pebble and sacrifice herself in order to save her father from his debt and imprisonment. Take a moment to ponder over the story. The above story is used with the hope that it will make us appreciate the difference between lateral and logical thinking. The girl's dilemma cannot be solved with traditional logical thinking. Think of the consequences if she chooses the logical answers. What would you recommend the girl do? The girl put her hand into the money bag and drew out a pebble. Without looking at it, she fumbled and let it fall onto the pebble-strewn path where it immediately became lost among all the other pebbles. The girl put her hand into the money bag and drew out a pebble. Without looking at it, she fumbled and let it fall onto the pebble-strewn path where it immediately became lost among all the other pebbles. "Oh, how clumsy of me," she said. "But never mind, if you look into the bag for the one that is left, you will be able to tell which pebble I picked. Since the remaining pebble is black, it must be assumed that she had picked the white one." And since the moneylender dared not admit his dishonesty, the girl changed what seemed an impossible situation into an extremely advantageous one. Moral of the story: most complex problems do have a solution, sometimes we have to think about them in a different way. Author unknown.